Students, I want to talk about workflow. How does this work? Well, brands are working right now 2 years out. So for instance, this semester, you add 2 years to that, that's what we are doing right now, 2 years out. And how are they able to do that? Well, all the brands are paying for predictive services, and so they know what's going to be big in 2 years from now. They know the colorway, they know the Pantone color, they know the designs or silhouettes, let's say bell-bottom pants, for instance, or mini skirts, or grunge, whatever. They know what is going to be hot in 2 years, and they're working to create that now. Large brands have a team of pattern makers who specialize. For instance, they may have a group of 6 pattern makers, and one of them is responsible for women's dresses, and the other one is responsible for men's tops, and then another one will be responsible for men's pants. You see, they would all specialize in something. And when we're ready to start a new line, we would get the fashion sketches from the design team, from the designer, and then they would be divvied up to those with their specialty. Pattern makers typically, once they have their sketches that they're going to work on, they choose the easiest design first and get that going. Pattern makers that work with software, design software, work incredibly fast. And by starting with the easiest design first, they can knock that out in sometimes the afternoon. So in sophisticated, powerful software that we talk about, designs are created quickly. I want to kind of paint a picture so you can see how this works. This is not true of every brand, but I want to show you an idea of how this works. So for instance, we get our pattern work on Monday, we create the patterns on Monday, and they go to the sample maker on Tuesday. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, we're working on the next 2 patterns or the next other pattern, right? We can do maybe 1 a day, maybe 2 a day. And on it goes like that, so that we can have samples to look at on Friday, for instance. And on that first Friday, we're going to look at the first 3 designs. So then our fit model comes in and tries on all the designs. And the fit model gives us extra feedback that the dress form can't. We can watch the fit model walk in the design and see the design move. If it's performance wear, of course, we would ask the model to bend down like you're lining up a putt, or take a full swing. If it's a golf manufacturer, that type of thing. If it's performance wear, we want to have them tell us how it feels to wear this design. And they will give us feedback like, it's too tight around my leg, or it feels like it's coming down in the center back area. So we can make those notes, and we could take a look at our dress form and tweak it a little bit. Okay, you need to know that the pattern is tweaked 3 times. That's important. After 3 times, you're losing money, so you don't want to go beyond that. And in fact, sometimes designs, if they get too involved and they can't make the perfection in 3 tries, they just drop the design, because after that, you're losing money. Throughout the process, the pattern card, which is part of the tech pack, and you've been learning about the pattern card, that continues to travel with the design throughout the process, and it continues to be updated as needed. We are all using the correct language, the correct vocabulary. We are all speaking the same language, and that's why it has been so important for you in this course to learn the proper descriptions and vocabulary for what we call certain things, right? Like bod-fr, bod front, right? The design passes through many hands, and it takes a process of time, so we all have to be speaking the same language. Designs are numbered, they're not named, and we have been naming our designs in this course, like Target top or Old Navy skirt, but the design is really a style or a model, and pattern pieces are components of the style or model. Students, I wanted to give you this information as simply an example of a possible workflow situation. And of course, you know there are many. It just depends on the brand you'd be working for.